Hello.
Dạ hai anh.
Oh, hi everyone. So I guess that we can get started, right? So sorry for a couple of minutes late. So we have some technical difficulties early on. Thank you for taking the time and for the Q&A session today. I guess that I can make a quick introduction and then we can do the roll call and other fellows can introduce themselves. So my Vietnamese name is Duy. I am currently an investment banking analyst at Credit Suisse in Singapore. I am also a co-founder of Vietnam Financial Society. So the organization started in New York and we are a non-profit organization. So annually and in the summer, we host a fellowship program, and this is the third year. And we are very glad that to continue the program, and a lot of students have been benefiting from the program. So I guess that today's sessions is to introduce and have a Q&A session for students to understand the program. So without further ado, I would like to introduce maybe Gum. And you can introduce yourself, and then you can call other fellow to introduce yourself as well. So thank you for that, and we have to come. So you can start.
Hi everyone, my name is Kim and I am, my Vietnamese name is Tu Cam, and I'm a junior at Yale University majoring in global affairs, and I would be an incoming some investment banking summer analyst at Barclays, and I will popcorn to Dennis.
Oh, hi everyone. My name is Dennis. I was a fellow last year in 2020. I spent my last summer in sales and trading at Macquarie, and I'll be joining EY Parthenon this fall in the Chicago office. And I studied at UCLA where I studied biology, and I'll popcorn over to Gwen.
Hi guys, my name is Gwen. My Vietnamese name is Nguyen. I was a fellow in 2019, so one of the first fellows of the program. And I interned at RBC Capital Markets 2 summers ago, and I was back full time at the start of July last year at RBC. Jessie?
Hi everyone, my name is Jessie. My Vietnamese name is Nhi. By the way, if you receive an email from me about our Zoom link, please disregard that. That was a technical issue. But yeah, I was a fellow of VFS in 2020, so last year. And then at that time, I interned at Deutsche Bank as an investment banking summer analyst, and I'm coming back full time. Oh, I study at University of Rochester, finance major. And then do we have Antu here? Okay, I think that's everyone from VFS.
So I was so maybe we have some technical issue at the beginning. So I guess we can wait a couple of minutes for other people to join. Do you know like how many people are gonna join the session today? How many people sign up?
It's around 9-10 people sign up. I think we have around the same amount of people joining, so I think we can start.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, awesome. Yeah, thank you everyone so much for your interest in VFS. We are here, the 4 of us, as the past VFS fellows. So it's honestly an open floor for everyone to ask questions. So please go ahead, like unmute yourself, very casually ask questions. We are here to answer your questions about the fellowship program or any experience in the city or any experience recruiting. We are here to answer your questions, so go ahead. Yes, Nhi, I see you have your hand raised.
Yes. Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in today. Yeah, I'm just wondering about, I guess, the experience of everyone, like personal experience, because I know some fellows are from 2019 and 2020. So I was wondering if the experience changed a lot during COVID. And yeah, just like generally, what are the highlights? What's your favorite part about the fellowship? And also just some general advice during the interview process.
Hi, do you know where you're going to be this summer?
Yes, I'll be going to Deutsch, and the program is in person, so I'll be probably in New York this summer.
It is? Oh, yeah, I didn't know that programs are in person this year.
Yeah, it's supposed to be virtual, but they just decided a few weeks ago that yeah, they will have a survey to ask if people are interested in like an in-person option. And yeah,
like personally, I interned in person, so I think that's a great experience, and you get to meet people face to face, so that foster like a better learning process, and also like experience the city as well. So it's cool. So that was my experience, and I hope you're gonna experience that for yourself this summer in person. But I interned at RBC in the downtown part of the city, and it was cool. And joining VFS was a big part of that summer, because I didn't have a lot of friends outside of my college friends at the city. So like joining a group of Vietnamese people, which I didn't know that we have that many Vietnamese finance people in New York, was a definitely added benefit and experience to my summer. And like you have a group of support system that you can talk about your internship, and we grabbed lunch, dinner, breakfast a bunch of times. So you make friends, and it's a forum for you to discuss what you can't discuss in the office, and get advice from people who've been through what you're going through, or even professional in the field. Like we got a chance to meet with a lot of senior people, Vietnamese senior people on the street. So that was great as well. So yeah. And I know a lot of 2020 people are interning at home, so their experience is definitely different. So we'd love to hear what they went through as well.
Okay, yeah, so not as lucky as Gwen. We, the 2020 class, we interned virtually, and then the program was virtually. So that's definitely was a little bit different, but I think the fruit of the program is still there, because we still get to hear from a lot of like, more experienced professional on the street. And then it's not, so I interned in investment banking, and there was online, so it was kind of confusing, but I think having the people there who either the fellows going through the same thing, or Anvo and Yui, or like a bunch of other like Gwen, they share the experience about starting virtually and how to navigate the virtual environments. I thought that was very helpful. And then there were like a bunch of workshops where not only speakers working in investment banking, there were sales and trading, there was like quant, there were like impact investment. So it was eye-opening, because we got to learn so much about like different career paths within finance. And then you see a bunch of other people, including our mentors, who work in different paths as well. So it shows me where the next step can be potentially, if I decide not to be in investment banking, or if investment banking is like a sustainable career as well. And then I know wasn't in NYC, but I know a bunch of people in NYC, they still got a chance to like hang out during one of those, gatherings. So I thought that was pretty cool. And I think if you have enough people in person this year, I'll be in NYC this year. So definitely the people in NYC, we can just like hold a gathering, and then we can also connect. So I don't know what Cam and Dennis think.
Yeah, I also just want to echo what Jessie just said. Because last summer I interned at a nonprofit endowment network that focused on socially responsible investing and impact investing. So my background and interest was a little bit different than everyone, but coming to VFS and listen to speakers from different backgrounds and fields such as like investment banking, asset management, sales and trading, it really gives me different perspective on different sectors of finance. And when I started my IB recruiting letters, I think it was very helpful because VFS also paired me with a mentor. So each fellow was paired with a mentor, and my mentor really helped me a lot through my recruitment process, and I'm really grateful for that. And I think that like after a year, you can really see the impact of having a mentor in finance. Like Jessie have been able to secure her return offer, and I was able to land like an IB internship this summer.
Yeah, and I guess I can kind of speak to the same things. I feel like having the virtual environment helped us like kind of really like expand things more in terms of like being able to like I guess like connect with people like more like across like the country instead of like, oh, everything's just like focused in New York. So I feel like that was a big thing being in a virtual environment. And aside from that, it was just like not just like the mentorship layer, like mentors like in a bunch of different industries, but it's also being able to like connect with like your fellow peers like while you're going through your internship, and you're kind of having like you kind of have like a little support network just to go through your internship and be able to connect with someone like, hey, like what's going on at your internship? They're making me do this. How's things on your end? And it's just having that support network through the summer. And that was something I really appreciated about it.
And I also just want to add one thing, because the fellowship does not just last that one summer, but I feel that moving forward, if you ever consider moving to New York City and you have the support system that already there, and that can help, moving you and support you, not professionally, but also like emotionally, and helping you like to move into New York and just have people to connect to. So I think it's like a wonderful network to tap into.
That was really helpful. Thank you guys so much for sharing.
I guess that we have a few people on the line, so maybe we can do a quick introduction with from other participants, right? So feel free to unmute yourself, and maybe you can introduce your name, where you from. So because that we opened the fellowship program this year for students from New York in the Americas, right? And then people from Europe and Asia as well. So they wanted to know like where people from, what internship are you having? No, don't worry if you don't have any internship that lining up. So we will wanted to know you more, and yeah. So maybe we can do that. So who want to volunteer first? Please unmute yourself, and then.
I can go first. Okay. So hi guys, my name is Tian and I'm a junior at Villanova School of Business. I will be joining Bank of America as an equity capital market summer analyst, and I'm really excited for the summer. Nice to meet you all.
Nice to meet you. Do you want to popcorn someone else?
Nhi, can you go next?
Yeah, sure. So hi guys, my name is Nee. I'm currently a junior at Dickinson College. It's a very small school in PA, so I'm not sure if anyone knows about it. But yeah, this summer I'll be interning at Deutsche in their leverage finance group, investment banking in New York City. I'm very excited about it because last year I did it virtually. It was not as fun, and Jessie knows. So yeah, really excited about this year. I guess I'll popcorn to no. If she's on the line. Otherwise, Chang.
You mean me? Is that it?
I said Chang, but yeah, you can go ahead.
Okay. My name is Yang, and I'm from Vietnam. I'm from the International University. Currently, I am in the second year, and in this summer, I hope that I can get an internship at the Excel company. So the position that I am aiming at is the business analyst. It's quite a basic level of the career, but I'm hoping that being in the company can help me gain more knowledge about the career. Nice to meet you all.
Nice to meet you. Trang, do you want to go?
So hi everyone, really nice to meet you all, and thank you very much for your time and your sharing today. My name is Chang, and I'm currently a rising senior majoring in accounting and financial management at Bucknell University. For this summer, I actually have a job not in finance but in economic consulting, and I will be working for the analysis group in its Denver office. So I have a kind of overlap with investment and economic consulting while I was working, because my office is kind of accounting focused. So I just want to come and hear about your sharing regarding finance and the organization. I guess Vic, can you go next? Thank you. I'm not sure if she is in the line, so maybe Dương, are you here? I guess then Trung Thành.
Yeah, sure. So hi everyone, my name is Chung. I'm currently a sophomore in a 5-year program at Drexel University in Philadelphia. I'm majoring in finance and data science. I had previously worked as an equity research intern at SSI in their Hanoi office, and for the for this summer, I'm still applying to positions. So yeah, so it's nice to come here today and know you guys.
Thank you for coming. Is there anyone who hasn't spoken yet? I think that's it for everyone, I think. Hi, Ngao. Okay. Hi, do you still want to introduce yourself? All right, yeah. So is there any question that you guys have for us or we have some experience to share too, so no pressure or anything. Okay. In the meantime, I guess I have a question to ask the 4 people from VFS. So what is your, like, the highlight, the one single highlight that you got out of your summer with the fellowship program that you think you wouldn't be able to have access to without the program?
Yeah, I would say for me is the people, and I still keep in touch with a lot of people that I know from VFS, like including my fellows, the other fellows, and also the mentors that I get to know through the internship. Like I still keep in touch with both of my mentors. I talked to one recently, and yeah, and Wu Yui, and the people I met there. So it's just I feel somebody's opinion prior that it's just not a summer, but you keep the relationships going forward. So that aspect of the relationship aspect is definitely one of the best things that I got out of the fellowship. Sorry, I'm a little bit sick today, so I sound weird. But yeah.
Oh, Ting, I saw your hands up. Do you have any questions?
Yeah, I just got a question about the application process for this program, because I know that we have to have interviews. So like, how do I prepare for those interviews? Like, yeah, thank you.
Okay, so for my experience interviewing, I interview with a bunch of past fellows and just a bunch of people from VFS, and the questions are very, like, it's very tailored to you because they really want to know you and they want to know what your career trajectory is, and then a bunch of finance questions too. It was a little bit similar to like a finance banking interview for me. I don't know if it's because of, I don't know, my resume, but yeah, they asked a lot about your resume, what is your plan is, and then a little bit of finance knowledge. But I think as long as you have an internship, they are available to help you through the internship and prepare you for the future step. So I don't think it should be like intimidating or anything. Gwen, do you want to speak on your experience? Okay.
Yeah, I would just want to add, like, it's not intimidating, and I think we're just looking for people that we can help, and we think that you can gain from being in the fellowship. So we're just looking for that, like, mutual connection and what you can learn from us and what we can help you with. So as long as you have a genuine interest in the whatever internship you're doing, you want to do well, and we see that effort, that like desire to do well in the internship, like we love to help you through it. So it's just finding that connection. So I wouldn't say it's intimidating or anything. We just mostly want to get to know you. So I would like advise coming into the interviews, I would just say be yourselves and communicate clearly about your goals you have for the summer, how you can gain from being in the fellowship, what you think you can be helped with the most, and just like we just want to get to know you. So just trying to, you know, show yourself and yeah. So I wouldn't say it's intimidating. Just trying to be yourself.
Thank you.
And I know it's about, this session is about the internship, the fellowship, but for those who hasn't had an internship offer on the call, do you guys have any questions on how, like, your process and what's going on, and potentially we can give some advice and some help there.
Maybe I can share a little bit about my experience, because that so my background and my experience is very different from most people here. I got my undergraduate degree in Vietnam, and I came to the US for my master degree. And back then, when before we started the Vietnam Financial Society, there was no such things as a network to connect people and a supporting platform to support students. Back then, I remember that I came to New York. I studied in Maryland and Baltimore area. I came to New York like once in every 2 weeks just to meet people, just to ask people for coffee. And I wish that there was some Vietnamese person who are in town who I can speak to or who can give me advice. I tried to reach out to a few people, but not very helpful to back then, I feel like. And then I look up for some other organization, for example, the Korean, they have a very strong supportive platform. And they also have something similar like Korea Finance Society. And we also have the Latino American Latino Americans, and also they have a very supportive platform. And then we were thinking like, what can we do to support students? And then that was how like Vietnam Finance Society was born. And I guess that the best way we can give back to the community is that to create an organizations and to have the fellowship program, and that is how the Vietnam Finance Society Fellowship Program was born. And the fellows here, the past fellow, you are really the I would say that the people who carry the torch going forward. And I hope that it will continue into the future. But yeah, so I think that I digressed a little bit, but it was how I got the job, my first internship, and how the whole thing got started, right? So hopefully to give student here some background and something that we are trying to do at the end. Uh, so feel free to share your experience or ask any question.
Chang, I saw you raise your hand for a question earlier. Do you still want to ask a question?
Just with my background from like in accounting and finance, I'm also hope to look forward to have an internship or maybe a full-time offer like after I graduate. Currently, I'm in consulting right now, so I just want to ask you guys like, why do you like finance? What makes you kind of want to put it as your like first step in the career? So thank you very much.
Maybe I can answer first. The irony is that I'm still working at this moment, and it's 10:30 p.m. on Saturday in Singapore. I'm still working. I guess that's a really question here is that you know what you sign up for, right? So the career in finance can be very rewarding and also very tough. I would say very, very tough. And you work like 80, 100 hours a week. And you really need to know like what you sign up for. But for me, I feel like I did not choose finance. I think that finance chose me. But I just like it because that like if you work in banking, in finance, and for example in the role of investment banking, right? So you advise a client on a merger or some of the major um, um, transactions that can be transformative and very influencing a lot of influential to a lot of people. So that is what I like. And also like I deal a lot with the Vietnam market, which is very exciting in the Southeast Asia region. So that was why I moved back to Asia. But that was some of my experience, and so maybe other people can share their experience as well.
Yeah, I would say for investment banking specifically for me, I went into it because it's a field that you can learn a lot starting out from college, and it gives you a lot of opportunities to do different things if you decide to not do investment banking. So that was my main reason for deciding to go with investment banking, because it's technically a platform that you can use to decide whether you want to stay or if you want to do other things, and it opens a lot of doors for you if you decide to do different stuff outside of investment banking. So I would say that's my main reason. And and I'm sure you can do that with consulting as well. So it's just depend on like what you feel like you want to do best, and you're the best in, basically. Yeah.
Yeah, so for me, oh, go ahead, Dan. I saw your hands up.
No, I just want to raise some question. Let me put on my hi. As I have told in my introduction, I am currently applying for an internship, but So it's unsure if I can get the position. Maybe I'll find myself in another position in another company during that time, or maybe I'll postpone my internship to the end of my to the first semester, my third year. So like, will I be able to join the community at that time, like after the summer? Can you share some of your favorite books that help you with gaining knowledge related to the finance? Thank you.
I don't know if anybody wants to go, but for your first question, I would say absolutely. Like, we'll always look for get to know more people. So, like, whenever you decide it's the right time, like I would say, like, I'm not speaking for everyone, but I would say at least for me, like, I always want to get to know more people. So, yeah, that's for the first question. And for the second one, I don't read a lot of books lately, but the latest one, for your question specifically about like finance and what you learn reading books about finance, I read a couple of books. I don't read a lot of books in general, but I read some books in college about long-term capital management, and the whole like crisis happened in the 98 around that time. And then I read briefly the what's the name of that book? I can like text you separately about some books in finance that I read. Yeah, probably not the best answer there, but anybody read more books can jump in.
Unfortunately, I don't really read a lot of books recently either. But what I do is that I subscribe to a lot of like business and finance newsletter to keep me updated with the financial market, because financial market changes every day. And so it's important for finance professionals to keep them updated with information. So I subscribe to like the New York Times, Wall Street Journal, and also Morning Brew. So that gives you an idea of like what's happening in the market, and like one of our habits is just like in the morning we just look into these finance newsletter and check the current financial market.
Yeah, same thing. The thing is, if I study finance, I'm going to work in finance. It's a little bit stressful for me to read finance books. So yeah, I opt for a lot of newsletter or just like podcasts. I think that's very helpful too, to hear like the most and up-to-date finance news, or like any new trend within like different industries. For your first question, the fellowship program happens every summer. So if you feel like it's not the right time for you to get an internship for this summer, you can wait out and then still joining. Like, just like I assume you know of this event either through Facebook or LinkedIn, but if you follow VFS on Facebook or LinkedIn, I think for the future events, you can always join and then be a part of a community.
Thank you for your answer and suggestions.
I guess I can add on a little bit here. I'm not sure about if I understand the question correctly. I think that you was contemplating if you should like applying for the internship for this summer, or you should wait a little bit more. You wanted to do internship in the following year. I guess that I can, from my experience, right? So from my experience when I work in the US, and I guess that if you want to work in the US and if you want to get the full-time offer, right? So every year is getting more and more competitive. So I guess that the earlier you have your internship, the better. So maybe if you are even in the second year, or like you can you can do something very simple, something like even like when I was in the US, I asked for an unpaid internship, something like that. And to first of all, that to get your foot in the door first, right? So you gradually building your resume, gradually building your experience so that you can getting a finance internship in the following years, because that it is very comparative. If you really like wait for one more year and if you do not do anything for this summer, I guess that it is getting harder, and I would highly recommend you to try to find something to do, even like unpaid internship. Yeah, so, and I guess that's the second point I wanted to say here is that this is really a number game. I guess that I learned a hard lesson when I tried to get a job or an internship when I was in the US. So basically, I blast out a lot of like cold emails. I blast out a lot of so cold email, cold call, just to get attention from people working right in finance, and then try to set up a call or try to set up a coffee chat with those people, right? And then it is really the number game here. So for example, you blast out 100 emails, right? And then maybe like 20 people respond to your email, so, which is a good enough number. And then if you can secure to have like 2 or 3, even like a coffee chat with those people, it is very good. So the more you do it, the better chance that you can have a job. And maybe you can leverage your the alumni network. So for example, if you came from a school that have a lot of that has a lot of people working in finance, so reach out to them and then asking them for maybe a coffee chat or something like. I think that everything is virtual now. You can ask them for a Zoom call, a Zoom meeting, and be sincere when you come to talk to the people. Do some background research, do some homework first, and to understand what they do, and ask a smart question and how did they go there, get there. So gradually, I think that you can so hopefully that you can get something in the summer, and don't unless that you are chasing one company, but I think that diversify yourself, like applying for more companies, like don't be too dependent, don't be too kind of like you have the mindset that you have to work for this company for this summer, but don't have to be so, right? So you can just apply and reaching out to more companies. At the end of the day, hopefully that you can get an internship. Yeah. So I'm so sorry for this one, but are you the one who study in Vietnam, or are you the one who are you in the US right now, or where are you right now?
Currently, I'm studying in Vietnam.
Oh, I see. I guess that like from the Vietnam side, right? I came from Vietnam. I went to school in Hanoi. I came to the National Economics University. I guess that the mindset of the U.S. people, like the people working in finance in here, are very different from the people. At least from my experience when I was in school, I did not have any internship when I came here, and everything changed because that I guess that even in Vietnam, right, I don't think that having an internship is very well kind of like people pay too much attention to get an internship in Vietnam, I guess. But I guess that when you really want to have a good internship, right, if you want to have a good experience, have a very good job after you graduated, you should really apply for an internship. And if you are in Vietnam, I highly recommend you to apply for SEO Vietnam. I'm trying to kind of like not trying to promote other organization, but I think that they have very solid program. If you want to know more information of that, so I'm happy to follow up with you on that. But I even like if you are from Vietnam, right? If you study in Vietnam, try to apply for some big companies in Vietnam, right? If you want to do finance, maybe you can apply for SSI, NSC in Vietnam is very good. Also, like some security company is really good. And And for example, like I have a friend. She went all the way out. She graduated from Vietnam and eventually she went to Singapore and worked for BCG I think that like even like I don't know the path from Vietnam to work in Singapore or in other developed market, but there must be a way. There must be a way. But I guess that you need to build a resume. You need to build a solid experience if you want to get into the high finance and if you want to do something like internationally. Yeah, so that is some of my advice. Maybe a little bit different perspective because I have a big background in Vietnam. So hopefully that it be applicable for you. Sorry for my answer a little bit long here.
Thank you so much for your advices. Your advices are really detailed. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much, Daniel. Really appreciate. Dean, I know you have a question. So do you want to have your question asked?
I got two questions for those who had an internship last summer. So the first one is, what is the one thing that you found the most challenging in your past summer internship, whether it was your technical work or how to communicate with other people on your team? And my second one is, what is the one thing you wish that you knew before you started your summer internship? Thank you.
Okay, so for my internship, it was very interesting. It was very short and it was virtually. So from my experience, to be honest, the one thing I learned is since it's virtually, so it's so important to like over communicate with the people from your team, like not only from the networking perspective, like ask them to have a Zoom call with you so that you can learn more about the team, you can learn more about the team culture, the team product, but it's also, if you have any question, like usually if you're in person, I think you can just like tap on the person right next to you and ask question, but if it's virtual, it's so hard to send them an email or just like, I don't know, ask them question on Skype. But I think you have to make the effort to really communicate, to feel so that you feel like a part of a team and they feel like you are the part of the team. So over communication is one thing I think very important, and then be very curious because a lot of them, they are passionate with their work. So if you're curious, you want to know about whatever project the team does, they are very much willing to answer your questions and share about their team project. It's just that you have to be the one who take the time to ask, because if it's online, it's really hard for them to be like, oh, hey, there's an intern that like just come in. I think I can teach her a few things. It's easier for you to ask than for them to, recall that the intern needs some guidance too. Yeah, I don't know if anyone else has some other advice.
Yeah, I mean, for me, my last summer, it was just tons, like being in a virtual environment, it's really easy to like just network with people there. Like, I guess it's like, you don't actually have to meet up with them in person. Like if you're in person in the office, you'd actually, oh, hey, do you have like any like downtime for like a quick coffee chat, like something like that. But because it was online, you could just send them a quick email and just like schedule that in the calendar and then just have like a little call. But like the thing is, like it's all kind of on you to like be proactive and be doing that, because they're not going to be the ones, they're not going to reach out to you themselves, and you're going to have to spend most of your summer just reaching out to people, getting your name like on their mind, things like that, like building those connections. And then something I wish I knew prior to my summer internship was like, I guess for me it was like whether or not like sales and trading was something I really wanted to do, because I kind of just went into it, I wasn't really sure like, oh, is this 100% what I want to do as a career. And that's why like during the summer I decided I wanted to pivot into consulting. So it's kind of different for me, but like still having those connections at the internship were like really beneficial for me, like going through full-time recruiting where they had like connections at other firms. And then they were able to like put me in touch with their other contacts because like I built a good relationship with them throughout the internship. So yeah, always build those relationships because they might be really beneficial later on.
I guess just a quick question. Is your internships going to be in person or is it going to be online?
Oh, are you asking me?
Yes.
Yeah, it's gonna be online.
So again, so I guess a lot of the times when I do networking call, I think people, they just don't have the time to do Zoom. So we did networking call through the phone. So they don't know your face and you don't know their face. So it's very important to really network with a bunch of people. So my group, so our staffer, they kind of give us the list of people to call during the week, just because they don't want to overlap. They don't want one person to have like 100 different calls within a week. So we have like different schedule, and then we really try to like schedule a time to talk to them. And it's so important because your team is the one who's going to vouch for you at the end, that they want you to come back or not. So it's very important for people to have a good relationship with you, like know what you're passionate about, what you want to do for the group, and just remember your name. That's something very important if you're doing this online.
Thank you.
Yes, me. I see you. Yeah, I see you raise your hand and Jung.
No, actually,
Thank
Jung,
you.
go ahead. Go.
Oh, okay. Thank you. I just have a quick question. So what are the values that the VFS are looking for in their candidates during the interview process?
I don't know if you want to speak to this, but I think we're just looking for people who show that they want to learn, they have the desire to do well, and we're just looking for passionate people, like people that care and that want to do well in their job, want to expand their connections, and we're just looking for that qualitative aspects mostly. So yeah.
Thank you.
I guess that the way that we set up the Vietnam Finance Society and the way we set up the fellowship program, at least from the people like me, Vu or Henry, who founded this organization, is that like how we can help you guys, right? So we are not expecting you to give back or anything that you bring value to us, something like that. I guess that like we set it up to look for a like-minded people, right? So for example, people are hungry, people want to succeed, right? People, I guess that people, when we see ourselves, hey, this guy looked like me like 5 years ago or something like that. And I guess that a lot of us speakers have the same feeling when they agree to speak to us. For example, like we speak to Chinju, we speak to some other like Tong, and they also see that we never have an organization back then when we started our career. And how did you guys get it set up, and how did you start it, right? So I guess that that is the way that we hope to do, right? So the way we hope to help you guys. And I think that is it more or less like how we can help you to succeed uh, in the future by participating in this program. So that is one criteria that I guess that we are looking for, right? So we might not be able to accept all of the fellows, not just because that you are not good. You are very good. Even if you have secured your internship, you are hungry. So it's not about like we rejected you for any particular reason, but it's more about like we don't feel that we have enough capacity, or we don't feel enough like value we can add to give to you, right? So for example, like we don't see that we have a network at a certain area or something like that. So we don't feel that we can add a lot of value And secondly, that as we are doing this session today, right, people are spending on Saturday morning, our past fellows. So we are looking for someone maybe after you finish the program and you found that the program really helpful, and you found that like you want to carry the torch, you want to do, we want to come back and help us out, something like that. Like, so you are the people who can carry on our mission to the future. We are a non-profit organization. We are not making money out of you. But we hope that like after my generation, after this one, we can continue doing this into the future. And what we are doing right now, I see that like our past fellow from the 19 and the 20 are doing this. So I guess that when you graduated from this program and you graduated, become a working professional, you can come back and help out other students who might be like 2 years younger than you. They also like wanted to get into industry, and then you might be able to help them out through this platform. Yeah, so that is all I want to say.
Yeah, I'm aware that the time is running out. Thank you so much, Anzui, for all that sharing, and yeah, just to everyone else. And I just want to sneak in and ask just wrap it up with a very lighthearted question. I know that most of you, or maybe all of you, have already spent some time in New York in one way or another. So I'm just wondering if there is one like area or favorite place in your city that you have in mind. What would you suggest me? Because I'll be in the city this summer and I'm very excited about it. So yeah.
I can answer this question because I just went to NYC like a week ago to look for apartments. I just want to say, if you're into finance, I would say Midtown is the best because all the offices are there, and then the foods are really good too. So you can walk to work, which I think is really cool, rather than take the subway. Like I really like Midtown, especially Midtown West. Yeah, with all the transportation, the subway, and the food, and how close you are to the office, it's Midtown for me.
Isn't DP in downtown?
Yeah, I'll be interning at the old office in Wall Street this summer, but I think next year they'll move up to Midtown, so that should be exciting.
Yeah.
But yeah,
because I interned in downtown. I lived a 5-minute walk from the RBC office, which is right next to the World Trade Center. Yeah. So downtown is a little bit probably a lot quieter than Midtown, but sure. Yeah, but like for you this summer too, like I personally like it because you have some peace after work, and then if you want to go out during the weekend, you can go to Midtown or something like that, So,
do you have any favorite restaurant in mind? Coffee shops or bakery, anything like that?
Oh, I forgot the names of most of them.
Oh, okay, that's fine.
And we order food for dinner, and then during the weekend, I usually go to Midtown for lunch or brunches. So right. I'll come up with you for some names. But yeah.
Okay, awesome.
I have a very long list of things I want to do. I mean, like I lived there for about 5 years before I moved back to Singapore, right? So I would say like I spent my my 20s in the greatest city in the world, I guess. So I guess that like there are a lot of places. One thing I also wanted to mention is that to try to learn the history of that city, and you will see that there are a lot of like old historic building, and you try to understand the culture, try to understand the city in the different way, right? Rather maybe try to understand the culture of the city, try to understand the people of the city, right? Like people working in finance, there are a lot of people from different background. Yeah, so try to understand, talk to some people, and try to kind of like immerse yourself with the city and immerse yourself with the culture. Yeah, so that is all I want to say. And be safe. There are some places that are not that safe, but you don't want to venture out to those kind of neighborhood.
Yeah.
But I guess that I try to understand the culture. New York used to be the very first capital city of the country, of the US. So there are a lot of like things you can find from the history there. A lot of museums are very nice as well. I try to spend time seeing the museum. Yeah, and I guess that New York and nowhere in the world that you can find the best food, just because that it brings different culture together. And one place particularly I really like to enjoy my time was in the where that in Brooklyn, in the Brooklyn Bridge. There is a Brooklyn Bridge Park, and right below the Brooklyn Bridge, you can come there uh, and spend some time and enjoy it there. It's very nice place. So
Thank you.
yeah.
I know that there's really good lobster rolls under the Brooklyn Bridge as well.
I guess that we are running out of time. But I guess I thank you very much for taking the time, our fellows, past fellows, and also the prospective students and candidates. Best of luck for all of you. Be safe, especially we are in the pandemic time. This is still very challenging. So I wish everybody be safe, and best of luck for everyone.
Thank you very much for all your time and your sharing today. Thank you very much.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Thank you for all your sharing.